Oh god, there's a hair on my face. It's like a cat hair. Get out of here. Hello there, it's Samantha. So today I'm coming to you with a video which I have done twice before, and I never really stick to it, so I don't know why I'm doing it again, but I thought it would be fun, and like, we'll see. I'll look back on it. Who knows? But today I'm doing a video which is all about 5 books that I want to read this summer. Obviously, I want to read more books than just 5, but this is like 5 books that I'm like dying to get to, and I really hope I do, but like, we'll see. I made one of these for the spring this year, and I only read 2 of the books off of that so far, so we'll see how this goes. But yeah, I still like to do these because, I don't know, like, it kind of puts some motivation on me. And actually, recently I've been finding that I have been sticking to TBRs a bit more, so who knows? But like, I am kind of more of a mood reader, but all of these books I'm like absolutely dying to get to, so I'm really hoping I can do it. But anyway, let's just go ahead and get into the video. So the first book that I want to get to, as soon as I finish the books that I'm like currently reading, like there are a couple of books that are on like my priority TBR, like before these books. So like as soon as I finish those books, the first one I want to get to, and like I must do this because I'm so mad at myself, that is Lady Midnight by Cassandra Clare. I have not read this book. I love Cassandra Clare's books. I don't know if you knew this about me. I was the original creator of the TMI versus TID tag, which was the Mortal Instruments versus the Infernal Devices, if you didn't know. So yeah, I was the original creator of that tag. Like, lots of people have done it, so thanks so much if you've ever done my tag. I do try and watch all of them. I absolutely love Cassandra Clare's books. I've owned this book since it came out. I had it on pre-order, but unfortunately, I then moved house and I put a lot of my books into storage because I thought I would only be separated from them for like maybe like a couple of months. But it's actually been nearly 2 years that I've been separated from my babies. But a couple of weeks ago, I went to my grandparents' house, which is where all my books are being stored, and I went through some of the boxes, and I had to rescue this thing. So yeah, the 3rd book is coming out in December, so I really want to get to this, and hopefully Lord of Shadows within the summer months, because like I'm just dying to. I think it's been 2 years since I read a Cassie Clare book, which is just like awful. Must get to this ASAP. The next book on my list is also a fantasy book, which I've had on my TBR since 2016. I'm pretty sure I also pre-ordered this book, and then again I put it in storage because I heard that this book was really something that you needed to kind of take your time with a little bit, and I was just in a very stressful time at school. I had lots of exams coming up, I had lots of like coursework to do, so I just knew I wasn't going to get to it anytime soon, so I also put this one in storage, and that is Truth Witch by Susan Dennard. I have never read a Susan Dennard book before, but I've heard her books are amazing. I've heard such good things about this series, and I own the first book in this beautiful hardcover, and I'm like, why haven't I read it? Oh yeah, because I put it in storage like an idiot. I really want to get to this really soon because it just sounds like so much fun. I know that this is full of like a really good female friendship, and I'm so excited to read that because yeah, I miss my best friends. They're away right now and it's so sad. The next one I really want to get to is going to be a reread, and that is Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I first read this book 4 years ago. I read this when I first started my booktube channel because I heard so many people raving about it. I actually think I read it during the first booktubeathon that I took part in, and I absolutely loved it at the time. It was so weird because at the time, this character, like the main character Kath, was in a completely different stage of life than I was at the time, because at the time I was like 15. Now I'm 19, I've just finished my first year at university, and I feel like I'm going to be able to relate so much more to this. Also, it's just been so long that I'm like, I just need to reread it. Like, why haven't I reread it yet? Oh yeah, because it was in storage. I'm absolutely dying to reread this. I think it will be really interesting to reread it after having been to university for a year. And also I've read Carry On, so I think that would also be really interesting to go back and read the Carry On chapters again. So yeah, I'm very excited to reread this. I think I'm gonna need a contemporary book to break up all the fantasy that I'm probably gonna read this summer, so yeah. The next book that I really want to get to this summer is also a reread, and that is Vicious by V.E. Schwab. This book is actually signed, which I completely forgot about, but it's signed. Oh my god. If you didn't know, Victoria, sorry, that was such a reaction. If you didn't know, Victoria Schwab is one of my favorite authors. I have loved almost everything I've read by her, apart from the Archive series. Not my favorite, but like, it's fine. Let's gonna pretend like that didn't happen. I loved this book so much. I think this might have been my favorite book of 2016. I loved it so much. And the sequel, Vengeful, is coming out in September, and I'm so excited. So yeah, I really want to reread this before the sequel comes out. I do. It's so good. Oh my god, it's so good. Anyway, sorry. Calm down, Samantha. Ooh. So the final book that I really want to get to this summer is actually not just one book, but I'm only going to hold up the first book. It's actually 7 books, and some of them are real long. But I have not read this series since I first read it back in 2014. Again, I read this series in the early days of my channel. I think I read it in like October of 2014 because everyone had been going on and on about this series. And this series is coming to a close in October. The final book is coming out, and it used to be one of my absolute favorite series of all time. So I'm kind of wary, but I really want to reread Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. As I said, I haven't read this since 2014, so I think it would be really interesting to go back and read this series from the beginning. So really I want to read Throne of Glass, Crown of Midnight, Heir of Fire, Queen of Shadows, Empire of Storms, Tower of Dawn, and also the book of novellas, which is The Assassin's Blade. So I'm really hoping to get to all of these books over the summer, also like throughout September and like maybe even leading into October. It's gonna be a task, but I feel like maybe marathoning this series is gonna be like really fun, or I'm gonna hate it, so we're gonna see. And basically with this series, I can't really remember what happens that much. Like, I vaguely remember, like, I know that some of the events that happened were kind of similar to things that happened in the ACOTAR series, so I've kind of got the two series confused in my head. Also, I still haven't read Tower of Dawn, and I feel like I'd rather just reread the whole series and then get to Tower of Dawn than like start at Tower of Dawn and then read the next book. So I really want to reread all of them. Anyway, so these are 5 of the books that I really want to get to this summer. I really hope I can do it, but let's see. I'm applying for jobs, so I don't know how busy I'm gonna be, but like I'm hoping I can get a huge chunk of reading done because like I really want to. These are some of the books that I really want to get to this summer. Please let me know what your like priority TBR books are for this summer. I would love to know. If you're gonna be reading any of the same books as me, like feel free to let me know and we can buddy read. Like that would be cool. But anyway, that is going to be all for today's video, so I hope you liked it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, feel free to click that subscribe button down below, and you can also click that notification button and be notified whenever I post a new video, which is on typically Mondays and Fridays, but now that it's summertime, I might be posting more often than that. But yes, that is going to be all for today's video, so I will see you very soon with another one. Bye!